I'm here to play Minecraft. I want to play some Minecraft though. Please, I want to play some Minecraft.
Fine. What's up guys, I'm here with another video. Welcome to episode 107 of Let's Build the City. Today we're building a cat cafe. So yeah. Let's build the cat cafe.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a cat cafe for all of your city building needs. And not only will I be showing you how to make the outside of your cat cafe, no mittens, come back, I'll be showing you how to make the entire inside of your cat cafe as well, and all of the fun things that come along with it. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, please do remember to subscribe to the channel and click that little bell next to the subscription button if you want to make sure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. But without any further ado, let's get started. Now, just before we start building, everybody, here are all of the materials.
Pedals there. I forgot about that. So then I've decided what this is going to be. I'm on the cover German van. Police van. Is that what we're supposed to do there? Bro, my voice into this.
We will need to make our cafe. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. The amount of space required to make your cafe is a 19 by 20 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you do feel as though it may help you plan out your build. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Do make sure that you got that stuff. Make sure you got enough food to make it. Make sure you're ready, and once you are, we can begin. Step 1, my cat cafe making friends. Come all the way over to the front left-hand corner of your grid. If you've made it,
I don't know what that's
to the
supposed to
right
mean.
of that
That's
corner,
supposed to mean
1, 2, and then inwards, 1, 2. This is where we're starting things off. I want you to begin by placing 7 light blue concrete on top of each other.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Extend that 7th block to the right by 14.
14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You can extend that 14th block all the way down to the ground. But what I would also like you to do is extend that 14th block backwards by 15.
15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. To which you can then extend that 15th block down to the ground, but you then want to extend that 15th block across the right of the build. Join it to the front of the build. That should be rather easy. Just join it corner to corner, and then extend the back corner, the remaining back corner of the actual building down to the ground. And you'll end up with this shape, which is a pretty simple box. On the left and right sides of your building, we are going to have a roof. That's the way that the roof flows. And we want to make the frame of it. It's actually quite easy. On the left and right sides, you want to begin by placing a row of light blue concrete that is 1 row shorter than the previous row along the length of the build. You then want to systematically place rows of light blue concrete that are 2 rows shorter than the previous row. You won't have to place many until you kind of realise that you can't place any more. You want to do this on both sides. So, quite easily, leave 1 row off the first, and then leave 2 rows off all of the others. I think that you get to place 3 rows of 2. Yeah, until you just have to tap out and you can't place any more off all of the others. I think that you get to place 3 rows of 2. Yeah, until you just have to tap out and you can't place any more. Once you have done that, we can place the roof. We'll start on the front of the roof and then we'll work our way to the back. The roof actually applies, it's a very, very simple roof if you just follow the rules. We're going to start off by placing a row of quartz block. That isn't quartz, is it? That's white concrete. We're going to start off by placing a row of block of quartz on top of the front of the roof. Block, that isn't quartz, is it? That's white concrete. We're going to start off by placing a row of block of quartz on top of the front of the roof like this. We're going to extend the lower half of the block of quartz forwards like this. So we extend it forwards using the quartz slabs. We can then use quartz slabs to extend out the quartz block and the quartz slabs that we just placed. They want to overhang the sides of the roof by 1 row. We then want to extend the blocks of quartz upwards and inwards using your quartz slab like this, coming up and towards the back of the roof. Eventually, it will get to be where the quartz slabs are higher than the actual frame of the roof that we placed. At this point, we will extend both of the quartz slabs backwards equally, and then we will begin the descension. So we will take this lower quartz slab here, and we will go down, or right and down, and we will just skirt along the outside of the roof, until eventually we end up with the exact same thing that we have on the front, like this. I would highly recommend extending all of the quartz blocks. Every other block is a quartz block. It might be that the quartz block closest to the frame, so like the quartz blocks are the ones that are actually like physically touching the light blue frame. You can extend those across first. I find that easier, and then you can just use the quartz slabs to kind of just patch in between them.
Goes into a system in the roof and it's just going to link up to the lights.
If you want, you can just simply use some quartz stairs and you can just modify the roof in such a way, but I've kind of fallen in love with this style of roof. I quite like the lower roof, and all you have to do for the part that is overhanging is you just have to use the quartz blocks are the ones that are actually like physically touching the light blue frame. You can extend those across first. I find that easier, and then you can just use the quartz slabs to kind of just patch in between them. If you want, you can.
Oh, that nice smell. I don't know what it's saying. It's supposed to be.
Is he just showing his idiotic mouth?
That does not terrify me.
Fuck off.
That. Why would that terrify me? Oh no, I'm so scared. Ah.
No.
Why?
Just
Do you
simply
always
use some
play
quartz stairs and you can just modify the roof in such a way. But I've kind of fallen in love with this style of roof. I quite like the lower roof. And all you have to do for the part that is overhanging is you just have to place the quartz slabs that are missing, and that's all you have to do. So, however you really want to do this, as long as you make sure that you have the same thing on both sides, you really won't run into any problems. What I usually do is I usually do the edges of the roof kind of like this. I've jumped the gun a little bit, and we've actually completed more than half of the roof now. I usually do the edges almost like an outline, and then once the edges are done, I extend the solid blocks across. In this particular case, we're using quartz, so we extend the quartz blocks across, and then I usually extend the quartz slabs. This can be made out of any, you don't even need a combo. If it has a slab, then you are able to make a roof this way. So it just so happens that most blocks that are slabs also have a solid block counterpart, with a couple of exceptions maybe, and we want to just have this. So it's quite a nice looking roof. It's a very nice colour combination with the blue and the pink and the off shade of white that we are going to be using throughout the build. The first thing that we're going to do now that we have the roof and we have the general sort of shape of the building is we are going to make the off shape have this. So it's quite a nice looking roof. It's a very nice colour combination with the blue and the pink and the off shade of white that we are going to be using throughout the build. The first thing that we're going to do now that we have the roof and we have the general sort of shape of the building is we are going to make the entrance. So I want you to start all the way over on the left side here of the building. And I want you to, along the ground, place this sequence of blocks. A light blue concrete, 2 glass, any kind of glass, I'd recommend paint, 2 light blue, 2 glass, 1 white concrete, leave a gap in the ground, white concrete, 2 glass, light blue concrete, like that. And we're going to flip around to the right side of the build now. We're going to come over to the right hand side here, and we're going to, from the bottom, extending towards the front, place a light blue, 2.
Meh, 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 yes, I know. It's an undercover van.
New things.
Yes.
Glass,
Light beam.
2 light blue, 3 glass.
There's no logo on the front.
Okay.
I can't fit one.
Okay.
We're now going to flip around to the back of the build and more so the right hand side.
There's
We're
more
going
stuff coming
to
in.
extend this bottom block here across to the left by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to place 3 layers of glass, or 3 rows. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Yes, I know.
We're then going to flip onto the last remaining
Alright. Alright.
place 2
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
2, and then we're going to place 5 glass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extending towards the back of the build. You can then make the rest of the row light blue concrete like this.
Okay, yes, I know.
This cannot be used as prison.
Alright, alright.
Or
rest
to take time.
excluding the little bit of white concrete that we have on the front, the rest of the build actually wants to just be light blue concrete. So I'm actually going to place the light blue concrete first because I find it so much easier. And then I'm going to place the glass around the light blue concrete. So all of the glass will...
Okay, yes, I know.
Hopefully I can decide this. How would this be a CMC? It wouldn't be strong enough.
Okay, yes.
What you can also
Alright, yes.
underneath the glass, and I've
yes.
some black concrete.
Since it's coming into time.
Oh, he keeps chatting on about undercover vans.
Why are you so pissy? Change your fucking mood.
Kind of like underscore the windows. I think that I use black because the glass is black as well. And it's a very harsh comparison in it's a very harsh contrast in comparison to the materials that we have been using so far. We're using a lot of bright colours.
I don't think that's not available to you. Yeah, that thing. That means...
Meh.
blue, white, pink. I think that the windows being black kind of just, I don't know, it contrasts nicely. I think you can see the windows a little bit better, and underscoring them with black helps with that too. Like, they really do stand out, and they seem a little bit more meaningful. So says me. You know, feel free to make the windows whatever colour you like, even make them pink if you wish. It's really up to you, to be honest. As are all of the other things in this build. If you want to change something, I cannot stress this enough. I always like to try and say every single tutorial, you are able to change it. There's nothing there is absolutely nothing that I've done that you couldn't change if you wanted to. So we are just going to go around and place black concrete underneath all of the windows. The front is a little bit different, but not too much different. To do all the windows first, and then we can take care of the entrance. The entrance really isn't a big deal whatsoever. It's just unique to the front of I think I can actually place. Yeah, okay. I can place another row of light blue over there. There are details on most sides of this building other than the windows. We're going to be placing a few plants on a couple of sides. We're also going to be placing some chairs and maybe even some canopies as well. Canopies basically just like little overhanging. Can be made out of really anything. A canopy is just like an overhanging thing so that you don't get wet in the rain. So we want to have something which should look like this. You can see that we've extended the white concrete of the entrance upwards. I'm going to place a black glass right on the top of the entrance, and then I'm going to continue to place the black concrete underneath. Panes, and you can see that so far we have what I would probably call a rather plain building right now, but we are going to change that quite drastically.
Why aren't you?
So, I want you to,
because you ruined my gameplay,
over to the front right hand side of the building,
I am just
and
building
hanging
stuff.
above this window, above and to the right of this window, so like diagonally, I want you to place a white concrete, and then extend left a pink, white,
it's not just
pink,
you that
white,
tells me
pink,
what to do.
white, pink, white, pink. And we are going to extend all the way over to the left like this. We are then going to extend all of those blocks forwards. And
You're not terrifying, did you know that?
shut the fuck up.
Change your fucking mood. You're disgusting. You're being so.
Shut up! I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Sausage fingers.
Don't call me sausage fingers.
Get the what my bloody face then. Gee. Never known a brother see.
To extend all the way over to the left like this. We are then going to extend all of those blocks forwards and upwards. These are the canopies that I was talking about. There's a couple different ways to make these, and I'm not 100% sure which I prefer. So here's number one. You can just have solid blocks like this, if you like, for your canopy. So you can just have a row of concrete just behind. Another way to make it, which I guess would be a little bit more realistic, is to knock out the under row of concrete and then place like a fence or something on the left or right hand side. So whichever look you prefer is up to you. So we're going to do this on this side of the build. This is actually a calculated amount of blocks, but usually the rule that I have for the canopies is, say like on this side of the build, I just want the canopy to overhang the windows on the left and right side. So you can start with either a pink or a white, It doesn't, it's up to you. So we're going to do this on this side of concrete, and then place like a fence or something on the left or right hand side. So whichever look you prefer is, you know, is up to you. So we're going to do this on this side of the build. This is a calculated amount.
I want to play Minecraft!
Okay.
But usually the rule that I have is up to you.
It's not you that you troll me.
Like a fence or something on the left or right hand side. So whichever look you prefer is, you know, is up to you. So we're going to do this on this side of the build. This is actually a calculated amount of blocks, but usually the rule that I have for the canopies is, say like on this side of the build, I just want the canopy to overhang the windows on the left and right side. So you can start with either a pink or a white, it doesn't matter, and you can then follow the same strategy. Just make sure it's a little bit bigger than the windows, because I think it looks a little bit weird if it sits just directly above the top of the windows. You can have the canopy be filled underneath, or you can add the fence directly above the top of the windows. You can have the canopy be filled underneath, or you can add the fence on the left and right side. It doesn't really matter. The same thing can be done here as well. Again, just make sure it overhangs. You don't even have to do that underneath, or you can add the fence on the left and right side. It doesn't really matter. The same thing can be done here as well. Again, just make sure it overhangs. You don't even have to do this all over the place, by the way. You can do this, you can pick and choose. You don't have to have it above every single window. It just so happens that this building is rather blank otherwise. So that is why I have opted to do this all over the place, above every single window. I also wanted some natural light in the building, which is why we've got quite a lot of glass around the building as well. I want it to feel quite light and airy, and I don't want it to feel that artificial. So you can see that we now have all of those canopies kind of around we've got quite a lot of glass around the building as well. I want it to feel quite light and airy, and I don't want it to feel that artificial. So you can see that we now have all of those canopies kind of around the building, which again, you're more than welcome to take some down, you're more than welcome to make more. I probably wouldn't make more unless you added more with it, but you guys get the idea. So, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to, and I don't have the material that I want unfortunately, but I'm sure that will be in the item list, is smooth stone. I want to dig an area around the cat cafe. Just a 2-block area, unfortunately, but I'm sure that will be in the item list, is smooth stone. I want to dig an area around the cat cafe. Just a 2-block area, all the way around, literally just 2 entire rows around the cat cafe. And that is going to allow us to, and you can see that was part of the build, by the way, that's not a surprise. And this is just going to allow us to place some like seating on pretty much just the front. Side where we have a larger canopy. You're more than welcome, again, feel free to place seats all the way around, but I just figured that it'd be nice, because it is still a cafe. I know that it is a cat cafe. I just thought it might be a cool idea to have you know, just some outdoor seating, again, just to make the area look a little bit lighter and brighter. And the same reason we're going to be adding plants, because otherwise I think that we'd have a rather boring looking building on the outside. So now that we have the smooth stone in place, we're going to need a few different things here. So for tables and chairs, we're going to use, say, like a wooden building on the outside. So now that we have the smooth stone in place, we're going to need a few different things here. So for tables and chairs, we're going to use, say, like a quartz stairs, and we'll have like a birch fence, and then table toppers will be weighted pressure plates or any kind of carpet that you might want to use. Potted plants will be made out of dirt, birch trapdoors. We're going to use, say, like a quartz stairs, and we'll have like a birch fence, and then table toppers will be weighted pressure plates or any kind of carpet that you might want to use. Potted plants will be made out of dirt, birch trapdoors, and I like the peonies because they're a tall flower and they go quite well. But any sort of out of the colour palette that we have, you know, white, pink or blue would be fine, or any other, again, you know, whatever you like. So basically, on the right side of the front of the building here, I just want a couple of dirt surrounded by birch trapdoors, and then we're going to chuck a couple of peonies on the dirt like this. I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. In front of these two windows here on the left side, I'm just going to place some, and then we're going to chuck a couple of peonies on the dirt like this. I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. In front of these two windows here on the left side, I'm just going to place some quartz stairs with some weighted pressure.
I'll open the back door.
Place on top of some fence that are in front of these stairs, just to make it look like a proper cafe. You can even if you want to do it on the right hand side as well, you're more than welcome again to just place maybe just some quartz stairs, and maybe make it fit the size of the windows, meaning if there's like a free window, you can place like a table in the middle and then two chairs on the sides, and then stick the tabletop on. And if there's just like a double window here, then maybe just use one. You could even use some more flowers. You could change them up, or again, I'm sticking with peonies because I quite like them. On the back of the build, I'm not going to really add anything here, although I guess you could if you wanted to. It seems a little bit weird that you'd actually have like some seating out the back, but I mean, I guess we can. It's our cat cafe. We can do whatever we like. And, you know, feel free to add this decoration everywhere. Feel free to add hedge. Feel free to add flowers that are in the ground. I'm imagining this in kind of like a town centre, so it might even mean that you won't be able to access the back of the building depending upon where and how you build it. But here as well, we can have this too. So maybe just like this, just a. This is like a row of 5, so maybe just like a couple of huge seats like that, and we could have more flowers here, or maybe we can have some just kind of like in the middle. I don't want to saturate the area with too much of the same thing, but just to show you that you can kind of like just do it wherever. I think it would look good. You would probably want to switch up the style of flower and stuff, but you guys get the idea. It does just make the area look a little bit nicer, a little bit fancier. I think you could even make the chairs look nicer too by perhaps adding some sort of maybe even signs on the outside of them. This won't be in the item list because I don't know whether I like this or not. But you could just add some signs. I don't want to use trapdoors because we've used them there, but you know, if you wanted to, because that adds another colour too. Again, you know, whatever you like. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to add the sign. Now the sign is actually kind of interesting, and we need a few different things to make it. Number 1, we need a loom. Number 2, we need a crafting table. And we're also going to need white banners, light blue banners. We'll need our vines, light blue dye, white dye. apple. That's actually more important than you might imagine. We're going to place the white banners up into the, not the top left-hand corner slot, but the slot next to it, and then you can place the dice along there too. So, first of all, we are going to write Cat Cafe in big black, an enchanted apple. That's actually more important than you might imagine. We're going to place the white banners up into the, not the top left-hand corner slot, but the slot next to it, and then you can place the dice along there too. So, first of all, we are going to write Cat Cafe in big black letters on white banners. So, we're going to need the loom for this, and I'll chuck down the crafting table as well. I'm just going to get rid of both of them. But the loom is what we're going to be using for the actual letters, and we're going to start off with C. So that's going to be a white banner in the loom. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning, guys, if you don't have a loom, you got to get one. You've just got to get a loom. If not, you'll have to use a crafting table, and it will be a little bit slower, but you'll still be able to do it. And for the letters, something that I almost forgot is we will of course need some black dye as well. So let's crack open our loom again. Let's get our first banner in there, which is going to be a white banner. We're going to load some black dye in here, and the first letter that we're making is C. So that's going to be a horizontal row of black dye along the top of the banner. Grab it, put it back in, horizontal row of black dye along the bottom of the banner. Grab it, put it back in, vertical row of black dye up the left side of the banner. That is C. Next is A, so that requires a brand new white banner, and you can start off with a vertical row of black up the left side of the banner. Place a vertical row of black up the right side of the banner. Place a horizontal row of black along the top of the banner, and a horizontal row of black through the middle of the banner. And that is A. To make the next letter T is rather easy, basically a vertical row. Black dye up the middle of the banner, and then a horizontal row of black dye along the top of the banner. C-A-T. That is perfect. We now have to make cafe, but we can actually reuse the C and the A, so next we just have to make an F. So the F, we can even use the horizontal row of black dye along the top of the banner, horizontal row of black dye through the middle of the banner, and then a vertical row of black dye on the left side of the banner, extending upwards. That's F. We only have one more letter to make, and that is E, so that's going to be a brand new white banner. We're going to use a vertical row of black dye up the left side of the banner, horizontal row of black along the top, horizontal row of black through the middle, horizontal row of black through the bottom, and that is Catfur. But what we're going to do is we're going to start above the canopy on the front of the build, not the pink concrete on the left side, but above this white concrete here. We're going to place C-A-T, gap, C-A-F-E. Now, Cat Cafe is centered in the middle of the canopy, meaning you've got one row on the right side, you've got one row on the right, and on the left side you've got one row along on the right side, and then you have a little gap in the middle. However, we're going to actually be using that gap in the middle. We're going to place a little cat banner, which I think just adds a little bit to this build. So to make the cat banner, we're going to be cracking open the crafting table, not the loom. I'm not even sure if you can use the loom to make it, but I know that you can use the crafting table, so we're going to do that. And we're going to place a white banner in the middle bottom of the crafting table. And then we're going to place a light blue dye above it, and then vines left of the light blue dye. We're then going to grab that banner, we're going to place a light blue dye above it, and then vines left of the light blue dye. We're then going to grab that banner, we're going to place it in the bottom middle of the table once we've grabbed it, and then we're going to place a light blue die in the top left-hand corner of the table. We're going to grab that banner, we're going to place it back in the table in the bottom center again, and we're going to place a light blue die in the middle left, middle right, and middle top of the table. We're then going to grab that banner, and this time we're going to place it dead center, and we're going to place a row of blue die just along the bottom of the banner. Grab it, place it in the bottom middle of the table again, white die above it, on the bottom of the banner. Grab it, place it in the bottom middle of the table again, white die above it, and then grab an enchanted apple. It specifically has to be the enchanted version where it is like all, you know, purpley. And we're going to grab that new banner, and we're going to place it in the bottom middle of the table once more, and we're going to place white die above it, and then we're going to grab that banner. Place it in the bottom middle of the table once more, and we're going to place white die above it, and then we're going to grab that banner. Now this banner is going to sit in between the Cat Cafe portion of our sign, and I think it makes it just look a little bit better. It's also possible maybe that you could have this banner maybe like just on the corner of your build, or maybe even just like hanging off of the door. I like it in between the sign, and I kind of like it there, but I probably wouldn't place it anywhere else. So that is your sign. That is pretty much the entire outside of your build complete, ladies and gentlemen. And what we're now going to do is we are going to head, and I like to do it from this view. We are going to go ahead and build, ladies and gentlemen. And what we're now going to do is we are going to head, and I like to do it from this view. We are going to go ahead and build the inside of the Cat Cafe. That's right. So to do this view, we are going to go ahead and build the inside of the Cat Cafe. That's right. So to do the inside of the Cat Cafe, we actually have quite a few things that we need already, and we're going to use them before we move on. So first, let's grab some birch wood planks and some chiseled quartz block. The entire floor, actually it'd be a lie to say that. Most of the floor is birchwood planks. There's a couple of other exceptions, but most of the floor is going to be dug out and be replaced with birchwood planks. Remember to dig out the door block as well, and we can even do that now actually, because it's quite satisfying to me. I quite like placing the door on things. There we go, it just pulls things together. But we're going to completely destroy all of the floor and place some birchwood planks in here instead. And the material that we're using for the ceiling, I'm sure that you guys might have already figured it out. We're going to be using chiseled quartz block, which is my favourite floor/ceiling. whatever reason. I don't know. I've just fallen in love with the block a little bit. So, first of all, let's install the floor. Some of the floor later on will probably get ripped up a little bit to allow us to place some other stuff. The lighting's going to be a little bit crazy, isn't it? I don't know why. It'll allow us to place some other stuff. We want to rip it up and probably place some, like, you know, some carpet sort of blocks. Pretty much that. We'll be using a little bit of concrete too, just to kind of like vary the floor a little bit, because we don't want it to get a little bit too repetitive. But we're going to completely fill all the floor in with birch planks like this, and then we're going to leave a gap of one above the window, and then we're going to fill the ceiling in with chiseled quartz, because we want to have a very light feel inside here. So the entire colour palette of the build is very light. The whole thing is, and that's on purpose, and we want to keep that by placing a light coloured roof, and that's why we also have the light coloured floor as well. So let's just fill all of this in using the chiseled quartz, and then we can do some of the finer details with the materials that we can before we have to get things swapped over. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the counter space area. To make the counter space area, we are going to grab ourselves some white concrete and some quartz slabs, and we can even actually use the quartz stairs and the weighted pressure plates, funnily enough. So you want to come to the back right hand corner of the build, and you want to place 5 quartz slabs extending across from the side of the build, pressure plates, funnily enough. So you want to come to the back right hand corner of the build, and you want to place 5 quartz slabs extending across from the side of the build. You want to place a white concrete on the end, extend it forwards. You then want to leave a gap of 1, and then place a row of white concrete extending over to the right like this to hit the wall. What I'm going to do is I think that I'm going to grab some lanterns, because we seem to be having some lighting issues and I have no idea why. I'm just going to chuck them up a little bit randomly just throughout the build, and I'm hoping that it will stop the lighting from kind of like I don't even know what it's doing. So this is the counter space area anyway. I might even place one there too. And on the counter, this is where all the like food's going to go. And you can even buy some treats for the cats and stuff. But we're going to have a till here, a cash register, which is going to just be a quartz stairs and a weighted pressure plate. You can have that anywhere along the outer part of the counter. What else do we want? Well, we want some seating inside the build. So we're going to place quartz stairs on either side of this back window here. We're even going to have a similar sort of thing here too, so on this window here you can just place quartz stairs opposing each other on the outside of the window. On the inside we're actually going to have proper tables made out of bamboo or stilts scaffolding, that's the word I'm looking for. We're going to actually be using some scaffolding for a table, so we don't want to place that just yet. We also want to make kind of like, I don't know what to call it except maybe like a cat climber. If you take this side of the door, so like where the entrance is, the left, like the right side of the door, this side, you want to leave, say, like a gap of 3, like 1, 2, 3, and then you want to use 2 rows of white concrete, and you just kind of want to extend the white concrete up to the ceiling. And we're going to be grabbing our iron trapdoors. Oh, we do have scaffolding too. We're going to be using our iron trapdoors, and we want to just kind of make some ascending platforms that cats may be able to climb. So on both sides here, this cat cafe is basically just a too. We're going to be using our iron trapdoors, and we want to just kind of make some ascending platforms that cats may be able to climb. So on both sides here, this cat cafe is basically just a cat playground, and that's exactly the point. So we want to make some fun stuff that cats would be able to enjoy. And by the way, since we do actually have scaffolding, I didn't realise that, we can place it between all of these stairs here as well. So now that we've kind of made some like a little fun cat hangout, what we're also going to do is we are going to make some more seating for the people. So in front of this large window on the left side of the build, we're going to have an entire row of quartz slab across the top half of the window, and we're going to place just a few birch fences, like one on the left, right, in the middle. outwards from the quartz slabs. We'll have some more seating as well, so maybe like in front of this window again, so maybe just like some quartz stairs, maybe like a scaffolding for a table, and maybe just here as well. Just again, we want to have plenty of seating, so just kind of spread out a little bit. There's lots of stuff to add there. Like just randomly, I'm going to have maybe just like just a couple of birch fences, just kind of spread out a little bit. There's lots of stuff to add though. Like just randomly, I'm going to have maybe just. It's like just a couple. Of birch fences, just spread throughout, and these can just be like little cat stands that cats can kind of like jump up on and kind of just like chill out on. I think it's probably about the time that we should really swap out our materials so we can make all of the rest of what the cats are going to be able to enjoy throughout this build. So let's get rid of these, and that's not to say, ladies and gentlemen, that we're not going to be reusing some of these materials, because we might be, but here are all of the materials that we are going to be using to
let's grab the materials.
this build. So please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And once you do have them all, we can finish this up. Alright, so hopefully we have now both gathered all of the things that we will need to finish up this build, and we can get this thing rolling. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to install a couple of really cool, like, fun things for the cats. So the cats are basically going to be able to climb up the walls and stuff, and in the front right hand corner of the build I'm going to place a couple of ladders extending up from the floor, and then a couple of oak trap doors extending across from the ladders, and then like another ladder, and then there are going to be just a few oak trap doors above this window here, and you can kind of place these anywhere. That's why I'm being a little bit vague with the instructions. And then we kind of want to flip them upwards, so it's almost like a cool tunnel that the cats can kind of like play with. And you could even have like some more ladders on the way up, another ladder, and then there are going to be just a few oak trap doors above this window here, and you can kind of place these anywhere. That's why I'm being a little bit vague with the instructions. And then we kind of want to flip them upwards, so it's almost like a cool tunnel that the cats can kind of like play with. And you could even have like some more ladders on the way down and stuff over here, you know, so that they're able to like climb and mess about. And you guys kind of get the idea. We just want some fun play constructs for the cat. So like we can have one over here, and then we can even have like one about, and you guys kind of get the ladders on the way down and stuff over here. here, you know, so that they're able to like climb and mess about. And you guys kind of get the idea. We just want some fun play constructs for the cat. So like we can have one over here, and then we can even have like one in this corner here on the opposite side. It can literally be the constructs for the cat. So like we can have one over here, and then we can have like one in this corner here on the opposite side of the building. It can literally be the exact same thing. Like we can just have a couple of ladders here, just a couple of oak trap doors, and another ladder, and it could even be a single, just like a single thing here too. Or it could even... No, I think it'd be a little bit crazy to have it extend all the way over. Or would it look crazy? I don't even know. So if we just have it like extend all the way over here, and then we maybe have like a couple of ladders extending down. I mean, cats are incredible. Agile. So, you know, if they wanted to, cats can just like jump from anything. They could just, you know, if they wanted to, they could climb all the way up to here, and then they could just jump off, and you know, it wouldn't even bother them. So it doesn't really matter how high you put these things up. They can jump pretty high as well. You can start ladders on the side of the wall. I just jump off, and you know, it wouldn't even bother them. So it doesn't really matter how high you put these things up. They can jump pretty high as well. You can start ladders on the side of the wall. I just want it to look look fun, and just be, you know, look functional. So I think that's pretty good. That's actually a bit bigger than what I did in the original here. And what else can we do? Well, I want to add a bell to the door, so just next to the door, maybe up a little bit higher next to the window, just to let people know that you've came into the cafe. Cat beds, very easy to make. Any stairs built in a 2x2 frame like this. I always mess these up. There we go. Any stairs built in like a 2x2 frame. I never do this right. Okay, so like this inwards here, and then this one. There we go. So just next to the door, maybe up a little bit higher next to the window, just to let people know that you've came into the cafe. Cat beds, very easy to make. Any stairs built in a 2x2 frame like this. I always mess these up. There we go. Any stairs built in like a 2x2 frame. I never do this right. Okay, so like this inwards here, and then this one. There we go. If you basically make it like a circle, a 2x2, it kind of looks like a bed, doesn't it? For like a cat. Or at least I think it does. So I kind of like the idea of having one there. I'm going to place white carpet on top of all of the just the couple of birch fence I kind of just placed randomly. I'm going to dig out 2 rows in front of the counter space here for the cafe, and I'm just going to replace it with pink concrete just to make it look as just like a rug or something like that. I like the idea of having it at the entrance as well, maybe just like a couple of rows of just pink concrete to make it just look like a little bit more inviting, a little bit friendlier. I like the idea of having paintings up as well. So paintings, they're a little bit trickier to place. When we've got lanterns in the way and stuff, but just some paint. paintings, maybe just the idea of having paintings up as well. So paintings, they're a little bit trickier to place, especially when we've got lanterns in the way and stuff. But just some paintings, maybe just about the place. Maybe even like here, you know, just to make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit brighter. Maybe just here, you know, just kind of around. It doesn't have to be anywhere specific, just around, just to make it look a little bit better. Maybe place a couple of flower pots on the table. Doesn't have to be every single one, but maybe on a table. Every so often, just to look like drinking cups. On the countertop, you can use a flower just to have a little bit of different vibe. I'm really liking this, by the way. This is nice. It's kind of like a cool, cozy feeling right now, and I'm just kind of trying my best to kind of like keep this going. So we also want to. This place is also it's a cafe as well. So we're going to grab like brewing stands, AAA hooks, item frames, cocoa beans. Use raw salmon and cake. We'll need pink carpet for later. We'll need some boat signs and the flower pots again. And basically. We're just going to have a couple of drinks machines behind this little behind the counter, so that can be kind of like a brewing stand with a pot next to it, and we can just have a couple of these just to fill up the space. If you place a tripwire hook above the pots, and if you place maybe some like cake in between, if we have just to fill up the space. If you place a tripwire hook above the pots, and if you place maybe some like cake in between, if we were able to, and we can't, unfortunately. What? Oh, okay. Guys, I did not know that was a thing. That must have came in the update. That is good news. Okay, we can place item frames on stuff. I literally just discovered it right now. It used to be that Java could only do that, but now we can do it. So if you want, you can place some item frames and like some raw salmon. Oh, this changes the game. And we can place some like raw salmon stuff on tables. Can you place item frames on scaffolding? The answer is no. That's unfortunate. Okay, but yeah, if you wanted to, I mean, if you want to just place like item frames on the ground with like raw salmon, and if you wanted to place like a couple of item frames, and I mean, if you want to just place like item frames on the ground. With like raw salmon, and if you wanted to place like a couple of item frames, and like you could even use cocoa beans. It actually looks like cat food. You can kind of just have it placed everywhere. I'm very excited about that. That's so cool. We can make so much more stuff now. On the walls, we can also place some item frames in between the tripwire hooks and stuff. You can place cocoa beans. You can place some. here, or different types of fish, just as like treats for the cats, and you know, that's what we've kind of got on the floor. That looks great. I'm so happy that we can do that. It's about time. I've been waiting for that for ages. And on some of these seats, my bad. On the sides of some of the seats, I'm also just going to place some birch signs. I think I'll do it on all of them. Anywhere that we have like a solid quartz stair, I'm just going to place. Place this everywhere, like this. Awesome. Okay. On these side seats, I think I'm going to place some pink carpet on here as well. So that's basically just kind of almost like a breakfast bar sort of deal, like just a table and some like bar stools sort of thing, just to kind of like sit there and chill out and watch people on the.
I just found out I just got rid of the carriage.
No.
Some people forget. What else can we place in here? So there's a few other things that we can place. So one of the cooler things that we can place in here is like a cat stand, which is made out of oak. And it's oak slabs, oak signs, and we can also use some, by the way, some like buttons and stuff to kind of just look like just like random little toys. So basically, kind of in this position here, where can we place it? Maybe like here, we need like a 2x2 block area, so I might just move this little cat stand here, so kind of in this position, this sort of general area. If you place a oak slab on the ground, block area, so I might just move this little cat stand here, so kind of in this position, this sort of general area. If you place a oak slab on the ground, a solid oak plank behind it, and then a fence to the and then an oak wood slab to the left of the plank, and then an oak fence in the corner, and also place an oak fence on top of the solid plank. Place oak slabs on top of each of the fence, and on the lower oak plank, or lower oak slab rather, place some signs around. It kind of just sort of looks like a cat stand, so you know the cats can like jump up and just have fun just playing around with this. You can place more of these around if you like. I'd recommend placing some like buttons around the place. It just looks like some sort of toy, really. Just some sort of fun if you like. I'd recommend. Placing some like buttons around. In the place, it just looks like some sort of toy. Really, just some sort of cat toy. You can place different varieties of buttons. I don't think that we even have to replace that little stand that we placed there. I mean, that little stand there looked a little bit crowded anyway, so maybe we could place, say, like one here. Maybe that'd be good there, and maybe even like one. No, we should be good actually. I'm quickly going to see if there's anything. I mean, cats like to play with string, right? Or at least, I mean, my cat's always there. Should be good actually. I'm quickly going to see if there's anything. I mean, cats like to play with string, right? Or at least, I mean, my cat's always there. I like the idea of if we just now we can place item frames. So can we just place like string on? Just for the cats to kind of play, mess about with. That's not a bad idea, right? And you know, if we had some like balls of wool and stuff, kind of like some stereotypical things that cats would like. But honestly, the cafe's like pretty full up right now. The cafe's looking pretty full. It's looking really good. If you want to add some more lanterns now, about the place, kind of like just anywhere that the cafe's like pretty full up right now. The cafe's looking pretty full. It's looking really good. If you want to add some more lanterns now, about the place, kind of like just anywhere that is kind of dark, you know, feel free to. So maybe like that corner, we even place one here. You know, just kind of like in some of the corners, maybe even like here, just to keep things like nice and bright. You can even add some ceiling lights. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we're kind of done right here. I think that we've made a really interesting interior to our cat cafe, and I'm really quite happy about it. The only last thing that I was actually going to think about adding was like a cat bed in this corner, but I actually think it's alright. I don't think it has to be added at all. I think that there's enough stuff going on. So let's take a look at this place, because we have officially done it. So this is what your cat cafe will look like once it has been 100% fully completed.
I have completed a cat cafe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me building a cat cafe. If you did guys enjoyed this video, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely day guys, peace out.